my name is Caitlin and welcome to my channel. So today we're going to be doing like a New Year's resolution type video, as it's almost the new year, but if you can't tell, I'm also not ready. So we're gonna be doing two things at once while I get ready. So I'm gonna get ready, and at the same time, I'm going to talk about my New Year's resolutions that I hope to achieve in 2026. So we're going to start off with working out more often, and I don't want to be ashamed. So what I mean by that is I have started working out a bit more as of the past few months, but not like I go in and out, and I want to also do that on the workout on the weekends, which that's perfectly fine. But what I mean by don't be ashamed is I'm the type of person who doesn't do it around other people, even my boyfriend. So I'm ashamed of my body, and I am scared that people will think others of me, or will think worse of me if I'm working out around them, as I don't really want to pay to go to a gym. I just want to work out at home, but I don't want anyone around to see me. I've always been like this, other than when I did gymnastics when I was younger, but I want to get over that and start working out more in general. So yeah. Next up, I want to get a good spot for my apprenticeship for hairstyling. I did originally have a salon that I was going at. They were a startup salon in a mall, which I don't want to do a mall again, as there have been a bunch of break-ins, and not in the salon I was at, but in the mall, which I just don't feel comfortable with. But I did start doing it as of I started going at the end of September, which was starting out fine, and they kept cutting my hours because they wanted commission, and I was on probation, so I was getting hourly, and I wasn't planning on staying there after my probation anyway, as I found out that after my probation they would be changing me to commission, and I was not having enough clients or the type of work to make enough for a living when I moved out on my own, or not on my own, but I live with my boyfriend, but out for my parents. So it was something totally different from what I was used to, which did not help my case. This was just some moisturizer that I've just transferred into a smaller bottle. Next I'm going to do concealer and foundation with Derma Blend. So I have the 15N and the 9N. So I use the 9N under my eyes and at a little bit the nose, and then the 15N all over. I do it differently than most people, so everyone does their makeup a little differently, so it's fine. But next up is I want to go back to school for a nail tech. Reason is I have decided, when I started thinking about going for hair school, that I wanted to have my own salon, which I still want in the future. Not right now, but because I need my license for it, which kind of hard when I don't have an apprenticeship. But I thought that being a nail tech as well would be an upgrade, as some people want both nails and hair done, but it also gives me like change. So I'm not doing the same service all the time, and I have something to change it up, and that way I don't get tired out or bored of my career as quickly, as it is very repetitive with some services, even though it's really, really exciting to do all these services. But if I'm doing 10 haircuts in a day, that's just an example, and nothing else, is very, very repetitive, and it's going to want myself to get out of that career faster. So I want to go back to school to be a nail technician. Then I want, another goal is to choose to become my best self. So what I mean by that is putting myself first, doing more self-care, prioritizing my own health over anything. Okay, sorry about that. I ran out of storage on my phone, so I took a screenshot of my notes as I wrote them on my iPad. I need to go through my phone and get rid of a lot of stuff, which is perfectly fine. I have a few videos before Christmas break or Christmas that I do need to edit. I just never got around to doing them. But I was going on about becoming my best self, so doing face masks, more baths. Sorry, I can't say that properly. Just anything like that where I'm putting myself first, which I am a people pleaser, which is perfectly fine to be one. But I always put everyone else's needs first, and especially as I went into hairstyling, everyone's needs go before your own, which is fine when you're working. But when you're at home, you need to put yourself first as well. So that's what I mean by that. I also want to plan more meals. So I usually go bi-weekly of choosing what I want to do for meals, which is fine some weeks, but some weekend, like I do it weekends, I plan them, because sometimes we don't eat everything, and if we don't eat everything, that is fine, because then you can move it to the next week. But if we are busy that week, like the weekend, I am rushing to make a list, and it's not the best. It's very rushed, not putting much thought into our meals. Sometimes they're not the best options for what we can have. So I just want to plan them maybe bi-weekly or even monthly. Just have a bunch of ideas of everything I want, have them all printed off, and have them in a area which is this month's meal. It's like plan it out and put it weekly. As I have a bunch of recipes printed out, as I like to print them out, the recipes we like, and keep them in a folder, binder, because why repeat recipes that we did not like if we have a binder that we can have ones that we do like. And I've recently been pushing pasta away from us as often. Like, we love to have pasta, but we're trying to get it to at least once a week rather than multiple times a week, as recipes can be very repetitive as well. So also bringing in more fruits and more vegetables into our meals, as we are pretty good with protein. That is one thing we are good at, but more fruits and vegetables coming into the meals would be a good thing to do. My next one was be happy, which I am very happy with everything, but every so often, especially if anything, this goes with my prioritize my best self. It can be very hard sometimes to have a smile, to keep up with everything. Especially, I did childcare, so I was a camp counselor for a couple of years and did programs. So I've learned, you need to smile all the time. Don't make anyone think that you're upset. You're in this job, so you need to be happy all the time. Go, go, go. Keep being happy all the time. Which is understandable, because you don't want to go to camp or anything like that when your counselors or everyone is always depressed and upset, which is fine, but it's also fine to have off days. Like, be upset every once in a while. Like, it shows that you don't have to be happy all the time. Which no one is. Honestly, no one is. But find the person, find the thing that makes you happy, and if you are not happy doing it, stop. Just don't do it anymore, or take a break from it. Yeah. But I am very happy with everything that's going on, so I want to continue and just prioritize some other things that I miss doing. But yeah, another thing, so I'm currently doing my bronzer or contour. I don't know. I went to school for this, but I just do it the way I do it. It's fine. Another thing is start taking my iron pills more often. I am anemic. I've not been diagnosed, no, but my mom was diagnosed with being anemic, and she has told me as a because she's a PSW as well, that I am worse than she is, as if you don't like this, please just skip on over. But with my period, I am a very heavy flow. So I lose my iron a lot faster than some people do. And mine can last 7 to 9 days. Which sucks, to be honest. But I hate taking pills because I feel like they make me lose my self-worth, even though they're actually helping me. They make me feel better. I don't pass out as often. I'm more awake, so I need to start taking those more often, which I want to try my best. Because I can go weeks and weeks on end without taking them. And my period is a way of getting around it, as I have to take painkillers a bit, at least at the beginning of my period. And I found at least once or twice I would take a painkiller and then my iron pill at the same time, and my throat would burn. That was my excuse for a while. And yes, it's not the best, but I also know I can take them at 2 separate times. I don't need to take them all at once. Another thing is I want to go on more walks. I like going on walks, being out in the outdoors. That was another thing on this list, more outdoors. But I like going on walks. Yes, the weather is very crappy at times, but I just want to prioritize being healthier, being happy. So I want to go on more walks and more outdoors next year. Save for a house. So I want a job as soon as possible as I can, as it's hard to save for a house. We currently live in an apartment, which is perfectly fine, but I would love to have a space that is ours, that we can paint, that we can design as we want. it to be. So I want to save as much for a house as I can. I would like to travel somewhere new. So this year we went on vacation during my reading week because I was still in college at the time. But I want to travel a bit more. So we went to Arrowhead and Tobermory. So that was a fun week. I hope we can do another one this year. We went camping last year, or this year, I guess I should say. But I hope to travel somewhere new. But yeah, that would be something fun to do. Go on at least one trip a year would be a nice goal to have. I want to read more. So I have a book at home. I'm only 3 pages in because I get distracted with everything I'm doing. So I want to prioritize reading a little bit more. I have a Kindle. I prefer reading with paper. Not a big deal, but I do prefer paper. So maybe going to the library a little bit more, getting a library card, whatever. I want to keep my apartment clean. I feel like everyone thinks of that in general, but I try my best, but sometimes it's just a little hard, which is perfectly fine. But I want to prioritize having a clean apartment a bit more, like deep cleaning once a week. Sometimes we don't because we get so busy, which is perfectly fine. But I feel like that's also a bit of an excuse on my way. So I want this apartment to be cleaned more often. I want to stop caring what other people think. I am, as I said, a people pleaser. And my whole life I've been scared of what people are going to think, say of me, just anything like that. I experienced a lot of bullying in my childhood over my appearance, my looks, my hair. That was a big one. Whereas now, people with, like, children, my hair color is more common. It's more popular. People want to get this hair color. So I need to stop caring what people think. I want to do what I want to do. Currently, I like having highlights in my hair. It makes it a little lighter and adds a little bit of dimension. Perfectly fine. In the future, I am waiting until I get married for this one. I want to go brunette. I know that if I go blonde, it will wash me out, as me and my mom are very similar in skin color, skin tone, what we can handle. My parents are both brunettes. My mom, we've both agreed on this. I'm her hairstylist also, so I can say it. But she does not look good in blonde. She is a brunette. She can have blonde highlights, sure. But going fully blonde is a no-no for her. So, once I get married, because then I can still have my natural color or semi-natural color in my wedding pictures, I will go brunette eventually. And last but not least, I want to prioritize my health. What I mean by that is I've always been afraid of the doctor, the hospital, anything like that. Reasons why is I don't like the smell, which I'm sure some people can say the same thing. I don't like the look of it, the thought of it, it just gives me full-blown anxiety over it. I panic, even just calling them. It causes me to freak out. But I haven't been to the doctors since 2019. So I was 13 the last time I went. And I don't need to go very often. I know I'm perfectly healthy. But I need to start prioritizing my health and putting myself first. So that is my main goal in 2026, is to put myself first and stop thinking of what people are going to think of me. That is something that I need to get over. It won't be easy. I just ate some of this accidentally. But I need to get over it, especially if I want kids in the future, which I do. I've always said if I have kids, I'll only go to the doctors because I'm pregnant or they need to go, which is not what I should be thinking, especially as a 13, 14, even 19-year-old. I'm sorry if I'm very pixely right now. I just really don't have the best lighting in here. Because if I turn that light on out back there, we don't have a actual light in here. We only have a lamp. But I cannot just say that I'm going to do that for my children. And who knows when I'm going to be having a child. I know I'm not ready right now. I'm way too young. And I do not want to be pregnant before I have been married. I want to be married, hopefully have at least a year married before having a child. They are such a blessing, but I know I'm not ready to have one. And that could be, for all I know, 10 years down the road. So I cannot be putting off the doctors, the hospital, anything like that. So I need that to be a goal of mine. But hopefully this inspired some goals for 2026 for you. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. If so, please give me a like, subscribe. And if you have a goal, comment it down below. I'd like to know what your guys' goals are, because maybe it'll give me another one for my 2026 goals. But yeah, have a great day, guys. Bye.